cracking? How is everybody? I see you guys are flooding in. You guys are probably like, wait, who is Emily with? Hey, Kyle.
Surprise! I'm not Jamil, but I'm Kyle, and I'm here to help out with today's show.
Yep, we got Kyle from Batch here, guys. He is going to give us all the tips and tricks as we are comping. Jamil is taking a little potty break because he was on like the 6 hour, 4 hour Astro call. So he just needs to take a little second and refresh himself. But if you guys want to get started, put your addresses in the chat and we will get to it once Jamil gets back. How was your Sunday, Kyle?
Well, Sundays, it's quite interesting because I used to be like go 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 nonstop, right?
Yeah.
And then I had to take a second to really like collect myself. So Sundays are like my collect myself day, work on me, read. I love to buy a bunch of courses and really just dive into those courses daily. But it's when I can really just like analyze all the courses and what I learned for the week and basically how I'm going to apply it to the upcoming week. So I have this awesome planner, this thing right here. It's called the Legend Planner. And I don't know if you guys can see it. Here we go.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so it basically structures out my 5-year plan, 3-year, 1-year, quarterly, down to my weeks, right? So this is like my time to basically dive into that planner and just make sure everything's organized and that I'm still on path. Because we all know we can go right, left, and veer off that path from time to time. So Sundays are my day for that. But it's also my time to get outside in the outdoors. And
Yes.
Arizona is one of the best places for going outdoors. So yeah, I did some hiking this morning, and really that's the time to really. I mean, I think my best ideas come from hiking, right?
Oh, yeah.
And especially when you're hiking larger mountains like a Camelback Mountain or Squaw, you hit that wall. You always hit that wall, right? And that's where like the best comes out. Like that's when the best comes out, when you basically hit that brick wall and you're halfway up the mountain and you're still looking at the peak and you're like, I have to get there, right? We've all been there before. So that's, I know I always go through that wall and you just feel 10 times better because you think of the outcome versus now. So Sundays are my day for collecting everything and going hiking. And then after that, we meal prep as a family. So everybody's meal prepping in the house right now and getting ready for the week. So,
hi.
Hey, Jamil.
What's going on?
Wow. Happy to be here. We're comping. And I appreciate, I have so many folks that I have not seen in a while. If I look a little bit ragged or haggard, guys, I just came off of a surgery, had hernia surgery that turned into a little bit of some face stuff that my face blew up into a basketball, and I had to deal with that. And so anyhow, I'm back. I'm better. I'm feeling great, and I'm feeling inspired and happy to have our homies from Batch with us, because you guys know that the Batch Leads platform, just so you, if anyone isn't aware of this, the Batch Leads platform, its entire comping tool was designed with me. We used these appraisal rules that I'm going to put up on the screen right now. We used these appraisal rules as we were creating the Batch comping tool so that we could get a better understanding of how an appraiser would look at a specific deal. Now, why is it important that you understand how an appraiser would look at a deal? For those of you that aren't aware, Pace and I are currently working on an underwriting certification, kind of like how an appraiser gets a certification. We are working on certification where you go through a certain amount of training and learning, and then you actually become a certified underwriter where you can underwrite deals. And that could be for a professional organization like a BlackRock or possibly another acquisition company, Open Door, Keegley, another wholesale operation, real estate firms, whatever that might be. But this underwriting is important. And why we use appraisal rules and underwriting is because the people that you'll be selling your wholesale deals to, your buyers, they are going to be flipping these houses and putting these houses back on the retail market. And those retail deals will be subject to an appraisal. Okay. And so how appraisers look at houses, a little bit different. And I think we've made some adjustments here, but I want to make sure, Emily, let's make a note to update this, because it is no longer true that we would rather time travel than leave a subdivision, because with the market shifting, it is very important that we use current comps. Okay. So the market has shifted, but some fundamentals are still the same. First and foremost, when you are comping properties, you want to be comping houses that are in the same subdivision. Now, because the market has shifted in time over the last 90 days, you can actually leave the subdivision and use a newer comp that's within a mile of your property in order to get a more current value than staying in the subdivision and using something, say, that was sold in March of 2022, because we know that the market is now shifting downwards. So we want to use as recent a comp as possible. But the other fundamentals have not changed. We are still looking at properties that are within plus or minus 250 square feet of each other, properties of the same type. So a single story to a single story, a two-story to a two-story, a rancher to a rancher. We're trying not to cross any major roads. And we want to stay within the same build generation, meaning if a house was built in 1980 and another house was built in 1985, yeah, that's in the same build generation, because the technology that they used when they built that house was similar. House built in 1890 and a house built in 1930. Not a lot of technological advances had happened between that generation. So that's still the same build generation. So even though that's not within 10 years of construction, we want to make sure that we're comparing homes within the same build generation, because again, the way appraisers are looking at this is the technology of the way this home built the same. Now, again, when you're looking at houses that are of different types, there's not going to be exact model matches. And so you're going to need to make adjustments when you have a house that's a 4-bed, 3-bath, and you're looking at a house that's a 3-bed, 2-bath. You need to be able to make adjustments to that. And so we want to make adjustments, and these are the adjustments that you make. And these adjustments have not changed with the market shifting. An extra bedroom could be worth anywhere between $10,000 and $25,000, depending on the type of neighborhood it's in. A bathroom, plus or minus $10,000. A pool, even though a pool costs minimum to put a pool in your house is like 40, 50 grand. The most an appraiser is going to give you is $10,000 in value for it. So pools are one of the worst ROIs ever. A garage is worth about $10,000 and a carport is worth about $5,000. And then again, guys, we want to make sure that we're making adjustments to property value if we are near multifamily, commercial, or traffic. So if you are fronting, siding, or backing traffic under $500,000, you're going to be making adjustments of around 10 to 20K. And if you are over $500,000, then you are going to be making adjustments of 10 to 20%. So make sure that you remember that. And then lastly, additional dwelling units or ancillary dwelling units or basements or guest houses. Appraisers will only give you 50% of value for that square footage. So you got a 500 square foot guest house in the back. You can't count it as 500 square feet. It's only 250 square feet of real value, okay? If the appraiser decides to use it, and that's an if. And then basements. Some appraisers won't even give you that square footage. So you might have a house that's 1,500 square feet top, 1,500 square feet bottom, and the agent listed as a 3,000 square foot house, but it's not. It's really only 1,500 square feet above grade. So be mindful of that. Understand that basement square footage at most will only give you 50% of value. And guys, I just want to shout out, guys, this individual right here, Patrick Connolly, is an Astro student. Love this guy. He is constantly putting out some fire content to help keep you motivated, to help just share his journey of what's going on with him and his family and how he's been running wild in the Astro community. So go give him a sub. Go watch him and, be a part of what he's got going on in his life. But Kyle, it's good to see you, my bro. What's new? What's happening at Batch? You guys don't know this, that in the background, Jesse and I, Jesse is one of the owners of Batch, we've been doing some heavy lifting. And Kyle has been a part of that because we are creating within Batch Leads an agent outreach tool. The only platform out there that has this going on. So Batch has listened to the world. They understand the market has shifted and that people who have raised their hand and have said, I want to sell my house and I'm listing it on the MLS are going to be way more motivated than just your average homeowner who you're cold calling. Even though direct to seller is a viable method to get deals right now, the average cost per contract direct to seller is $10,000. The average assignment fee across America is $15,000. So your gross profit margin on a direct to seller deal right now is $5,000. Then if you pay your acquisition guy, your disposition guy, your lights, and then your office, it's very hard to make some money. And Batch realizes that. They know that. And they know that a lot of people are using and working with agents right now, and they want to be in front of that entire process. So they've been spending a lot of money. Let me just say this. A lot of money in building out a platform that is going to allow people to do agent outreach in the most incredible fashion available. And so I urge you guys to go and participate in Batch, to download Batch Leads. No, I have no code when Batch Leads sponsors Straight Outta Compin, guys. So just go to batchleads.io, sign up for their incredible tool. You have no idea what is happening behind the scenes, but this is one of the most incredible companies when it comes to working with wholesalers, because they're the only ones who haven't abandoned wholesalers. All these other companies, they all want to pivot. Oh, we want to work with insurance companies. Oh, we want to work with real estate agents. Oh, wholesalers, they come in and they leave and blah, blah, blah. They got all this BS that they feel about. Batch has always stayed true to wholesalers, always stayed true to the wholesale game. They've constantly supported the wholesale world, the wholesale movement. So if you're skip tracing, if you're getting niche lists, like one of my favorite niche lists is the empty nesters list. That's anybody who's over 40 years old, who lives in a 2-story house that's over 2,000 square feet, that has more than 3 bedrooms. Let me just tell you, okay? Right now in my house, I got a 17-year-old. Okay. I got a wife. I got 6 bedrooms. The only reason is because I'm rich. That's it. I would not have 6 bedrooms, would not have a house like this. I would not have a house like this. I'd be downsizing. And I'll be honest with you guys, I wouldn't even be living in this home right now if my daughter didn't want to go to this high school and be near her friends, okay? I would be living in a condo in the Biltmore, like the penthouse, because I'd just be like maintenance free. I don't need all this. I don't need this. I would super downsize. So I'd be one of those people that you would be calling and saying, hey, old man, you got too big a house. How many kids you still got in your home trying to come of age? You know what I mean? So guys, these niche lists, these opportunities, Batch Leads has always been the forerunners, and still the best skip tracing on the market that's available. I've cross tested Batch skip tracing against I've cross checked them with TLO, and I'm telling you, Batch is like legit. Okay, so end of story. Done with that. We're gonna get to some comping, guys. Throw your addresses in the chat. We gotta go. Let's comp some houses. Put your addresses in the chat. We're ready to rock and roll. Kyle's with us today because he's gonna point out if I'm missing any features or anything that Batch might be able to help us better explain or understand while we're comping, how we can better use the tool. So we'll start in San Antonio, Texas, because there is this. We'll go to that one in Palm Beach in a moment. I want to start with this one in San Antonio with Michelle Rice on Power Street, just because it's in San Antonio. And again, for anybody who is in a market that is non-disclosure like Texas or New Mexico, there's quite a few non-disclosure markets. If you are in a market like that, you definitely need Batch, because you cannot get comps from Zillow or any other place. So with that said, Emily, what's that address again?
648 Power Street in San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio is a hot market too. We all know that. There's a lot of
Big
wholesalers
time.
are living out there too.
So I would check that address because I'm not seeing it pop up here. 648 Power Street.
Yes,
Am-
that's what I have on my end. Michelle, are we sure that's correct?
Yeah, it's failing. Let's just check.
Let me
Try to
scroll up
refresh.
here. Oh, yes. Okay, here. She sent it. She sent another one. 648 Porter
Got it.
Street.
That's usually when you can't find it, guys. It's because you haven't spelt it right. So 648 Porter Street.
Yes, Porter. Let's see.
Here we go.
There we go. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
648 Porter Street, San Antonio, Texas, active on the market since 11/19/2022. Boy, that's a long time. They're active on the market at 220. Batch's value estimate on it is 271. But again, guys, this is an algorithm, so we want to make sure that we're understanding whether or not it's right or wrong. It could be right, it could be close, but we want to double check. It's a 1920 built, 1428 square foot, 3-bed, 1-bath. The lot size on this is 7,500 square feet. And that's it, 1920 build. Let's see what the comps say. Boom.
Yeah, one thing I don't know if you've seen yet, Jamil, we updated the comping tool on our app. So I advise everybody that has it, go and update your app and you guys can see how we're now navigating.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's great.
Okay.
Well, look at this. I mean, beautiful. We got a from September 19th, 20. Ooh. Yeah, September. This is the market shifted June. So I would say September is a pretty recent comp. So I like September. I might do an adjustment of like 5% down from here, but you know, that's just being super conservative, okay? But you're also 200 square feet larger. So it's sold at 266. So let's just do some adjustments here. So sold at 266. We want to take off, say 5%. So that take off 13 grand, 266 minus 13 grand. So that's 253. Now we want to divide that 253,000 divided by this square footage it was, which was 1624, and that's 155 a foot. Multiply that by our subject home's square footage, which is 1428. That takes us to about a $222,000 ARV, which is exactly where they're listed at, 220K. So we've got an agent who has listed a house at ARV. Now let's take a look at the pictures of the house. And if you look at the pictures of the house does look like it's had some upgrades. They've got some nice hardwood floor in here. They've got granite countertops. They've got, you know, steel appliances. So of course the agent's going to say this is an upgraded house. This is a repaired home. So that is why I would say this is not a wholesale deal. When you're looking at a potential wholesale house, okay, and if you should waste time on talking to this realtor and seeing, is there a deal here or not? Look at the photos. This house has been remodeled. It's clear as day. They've got shaker cabinets, steel appliances, granite countertops. Now, it ain't how my sister would rehab it or how I would rehab it, but it's been rehabbed. They've got hardwood floor in here. I mean, it's a nice home. This is a nice home. And there's a lot of pride of ownership in this property. And so they've listed it at ARV. Let's see if we can find some any listing history or if there's a. Can we see, Kyle, if they've lowered the price at all?
Yeah, let's look. So we can look, scroll down a little bit. Current price on market. Check out Check out the owner profile real quick. I'm going to check that out to the right. I also want to see what other homes they have. Okay.
So they own a couple properties. So it could be a possible investor, or, or they might own one rental.
Sometimes what I do is I'll pop over to Zillow real quick and I'll look at their profile.
Yep. So let's take a look and see just because again, we can't comp this on Zillow because this is in a non-disclosure market. So let's go over to Zillow though and see what the listing history says. And they've cut 30 grand, right? So this house, and again, when you see things like this, upgraded, that this agent is completely, and the seller is living in a world of our house is upgraded, like beautifully upgraded. And they overlisted when they came on the market in November, the agent was absolutely like ass over feet or feet over, I don't know what the term is, just wrong, going in at 265. Okay, this house's ARV is 220. So they finally are at ARV right now. That's it. They're finally at ARV, but this will never be a wholesale deal because this house does not have a lot of potential for improvement. On we go.
Alrighty, we're gonna move over to Tennessee now.
Okay.
183 Cedar Street in Carthage.
Okay. 183 Cedar Street. Here's something that's really interesting that I want you guys to pay attention to with batch, which for any of you guys doing creative, this is super important. Okay. So we've got estimated value here of 110. Okay. But look at this little bit of information that these guys have, which I just think is just phenomenal. Okay. You got a loan on here of about 60K. Right? Is that what that means?
Yep.
So if you're doing creative, why don't you have batch? So that you can understand how you can pitch even that last deal. If we go back to that last deal, we could see what do they owe. Maybe you pitch creative there because the house is upgraded. It's not a wholesale house. It's not a house to be fixed and flipped, but maybe somebody would buy that on owner finance, buy that subject to, and turn it into a rental. It's another reason why go to batchleads.io, because if you're doing creative deals, it gives you details that you need in order to do these types of deals. This is a 1990 build, 1278 square footer. We don't know how many beds it is. It's got one bath. The comps on this sucker, batch's value estimate is 110.
We get this,
and this is in one of those spots that is like gonna be terrible because there's so little available or happening over here, and it's like the rural of rural, but you've got one sale over here at 132,000 from December. Okay, so this was very recent, and this was a 1990 build, 1150 square. Could you get a better comp? Holy moly. 132 grand. That's the ARV on this house. 132. That's it. Let's go on to the next. That easy, guys. That easy. Pacow.
All righty. Next, we're going to go to Alabama.
Okay.
503 North Holly Street. And that's in Foley, Alabama.
.503 North Holly Street. We got a 1955 build, 884 square footer. Now, batch is awesome because it shows us that this thing sold in 2020 at 89K. It also shows us that its value estimate on it is 112. Okay. And if we kind of look at, so this is like very rare. This is very unlikely to have equity in it because all of the gains of 2022 are gone. So this has the gain that happened between 2020 and 2021. That's it. and it's only showing that we're like 10, maybe 20,000 from estimated value to like what they paid. So this is kind of one of those deals where you for sure would say this is very likely a creative deal. So let's look at the sale and loan information on here, which again, you can't get anywhere but on batch leads. So they got a $70,000 loan on it. No, wait, the second one?
Wait, Jamil, why are you moving it around like that?
Because I can't, because I got a camera in front of me, so I need to be able to see what the information is. Sorry.
Okay.
2020 sale price. Interesting.
Yeah, so we don't know who the loan is with, but I don't think there is a loan on here. I think this is 100% owned. Okay. I think so. This would be an owner finance deal. You would want to go in and you'd want to talk to these guys and say, you know, do 100% owner financing for me over 30 years, 0% down, 0% interest, and see what we got, you know? Here's our subject. What's right over here? Got a sale from August for a little house very similar to what we got that sold at about 160. Okay. So that's actually pretty decent. So, you know, these guys paid 90 for it in 2020. Maybe you go and say to them, and they have no mortgage. So find out, are you guys wanting a cash deal? If you want a cash deal, you've got an ARV of 160. I don't think you can offer them more than what they paid cash. In fact, I think you need to be less than that in this part of, where are we here? Alabama. I'd be at like 50% of ARV, right? So I'd be at 80K actually on a cash offer. But on a creative offer, maybe you say, look, you paid 90. What if I give you 120? I give you 120,000, 0% interest. I'm overpaying for the house, okay? 0% interest over 30 years. And you could probably go up to like 140, 150 with that model. So again, just another way that you could skin the cat on this kind of deal. Next up.
All righty. 10702 West Cruiser Drive, Cruser, and that's in Boise, Idaho.
Cruser?
Cruser, yes.
Doesn't like it. 10702?
Yes, 10702.
Had a dash in there.
So just check Zillow for the address, but one more time, 107.
10702 West Cruiser Drive.
There it is. Okay. So we found it here on Zillow here. We got a 2130 square footer sitting on a 0.77 acre lot. It's in pre-foreclosure. It's going to go to auction on January 26th. What's the date today? This thing went to foreclosure already, unless it was postponed. Active at 299. A lot of views on this thing. 27,000 views. Boom.
Can you wholesale it if it's already in foreclosure?
No, it'll be an REO. Yeah, this needs to be bought at auction, or it's been sold at auction, but let's see. You know, maybe somebody postponed it. Possible. 3-bed, 3-bath, 2130 square footer, and let's just see when it was last, what the build year is. '58. So again, Idaho, you kind of want to be, you need batch in Idaho because it's non-disclosure. So we got no sales prices over here. So maybe we find another another address. That's too new. What was that year of construction that we had? You remember? 58, right?
Yeah, 58. It was in the 50s.
Well, that's a 2-story.
That's a 2-story, so we can't use it. But I'm trying to find something that's a single story that we can go back to batch and see if we can figure out, just based off of square footage where we'd need to be,
How do you feel about 2 stories?
I mean, I trade on them all the time. It's
Yeah.
just this, it's fewer people will buy a 2-story house because of the stairs,
Yep.
So this is a 64, but let's just look it up and see what we can find in batch on this one. It'll at least put us in proximity.
There we go.
So again, just remembering, the details of the last house, we were at a 2,100 square footer. Is that right? Let's just double check it. Yeah, 2130.33. So let's go back here. We're looking for 2130.33.
1958.
Well, I mean, this right here shows us that we're going to be well into the 500s on this house, because you got a 2,800 square footer that was a 65 build at 572, and so that's why you had so many views on that one listing there, because starting bid at 299, that if somebody was able to buy that, that's a deal.
What if we
Then
try
you got a pending here, a 68. 2 stories are always worth less than single stories, so that's something to keep in mind. And pending at 535. So I'm going to say that that house is very likely got an ARV at about 550. And so 299 in Boise, Idaho, that would have been a good deal.
Jamil, we got a little question in the chat. Somebody asked, do you recommend digging deeper for some of these that don't have many comps, or just moving on for efficiency?
Depends on the market. So sometimes you're going to be in a market where that there's lots of comps, but like, that's why I love multiple platforms, right? Like I'll go between batch. Sometimes I'll go, then check Zillow. Then I might even go to Redfin and look. You've got to use all the tools. You got to check multiple platforms for information so that you're just not making a quick assumption and deciding there's no comps here, right? So first and foremost, double check. But if you've gone to batch, you find nothing. You go to Zillow, you find nothing. You go to Redfin, you find nothing. Then you should just keep moving.
No buyer.
Because there's no buyer activity there. There's no comps. That means that even if you get a house under contract over there, it's going to be difficult for you to sell it because there's not a lot of buyers.
There's no Jamils, right?
But it is, Guys, we got near 300 of you watching this live right now. Do us a favor and hit like on YouTube and share this on we got 300 of you. Share this. Tell people, this is the best way to underwrite, the best show that's out there on helping people on how to underwrite and understand how to use tools in order to find opportunities. Like just literally looking at loan amounts and understanding what people owe and what they're trying to sell for all of you sub 2 folks. This is gold. What's next?
Let's just answer this question really quick. How do you comp when a garage has been converted into an additional living space?
Depends on the price point of the house. So in certain price points of a house, like for instance, here in Phoenix, Arizona, we have a lot of neighborhoods that are working class neighborhoods. And in areas like that where square footage is more important sometimes than parking, you would actually use that square footage. And as long as that conversion was done correctly, then you can use the square footage as square footage in the home. So I've seen lots of carports and garages turned into additional square footage, and you use it. And then the people who live there, they park outside, and it is what it is. You know, that square footage becomes valuable. But at a price point typically above 500K, and in hotter climates in places like Phoenix, Arizona. So if you've got enough money to buy a $500,000 house in Phoenix, and you are in the market to get a mortgage and buy a home, believe me, you're going to buy something with covered parking. So oftentimes what's going to end up happening is that person is going to take that square footage at that price point and convert it back to parking. So you would rather lose, because a garage is worth what, 400 to 500 square feet in a place like Phoenix, and a price point above $500,000, you will lose value. You're going to lose square footage to gain parking, because in that price point, they're going to want parking before they're going to want that extra bedroom. Does that make sense?
It does.
On we go.
Yep, I got our next one in North Carolina.
Address?
1816 Umstead Street, Umstead. And that's in Charlotte.
All right, 1816 Umstead Street. I'm gonna buy this instead of this house. Sorry, it was a stupid pun. 1922 build, 1484 square foot, 3-bed, 1-bath, pending at $399. Batch's value estimate on it is $405. Let's see. There's not a lot of photos here. Company owned, so investor owned. Okay. Is it? No. Owner name is Rachel Harris. Okay. What else? 22 build, 6,500 square foot lot, built in 22. Okay, let's take a look at the comps. And we got some good ones here. What we got right next to it, we got a 22 built, 1424 square footer, sold in top of the market though, 637. Okay. So what would I do? And also it was listed at 575 and then got bid up to 637. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase what I call emotional equity. So this is in the time of the market when everyone was overpaying and coming in, multiple offers, coming in cash, being psychos and driving up prices in a bubblish fashion. And so part of the correction is that's not true equity, because an appraiser would never have appraised the house at 637. Typically what happened is they would come in cash and waive or waive appraisal contingencies when they were overpaying. So we're going to go with the list price as the ARV. And then we're going to subtract 10% off of that in order to adjust for the market conditions. So with that said, we've got 575. I'm going to take off 10%, so 57,000. I'd say about 520 is your ARV on this. And if you want to know what to offer, 520 is my ARV, and I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'd probably be at about 60%, maybe even 55 for a 22 build. I'd be offering them about $299. So she's this at 399. This is about $100K too high. So whoever put this under contract, I hope you negotiated. Because look, they had been on the market since August of 2022. I hope you went and got this thing locked up at $300,000, because that's where it needs to be.
Dang.
Mm.
All right, next one is going to be in California.
Okay.
Address is 2025 Ohio Avenue in Colton, California.
You know, my neighbor got their 14-year-old son a drum set for Christmas.
Oh no.
We've got a house listed October 12th of 2022 at 440. Guys, think of how stubborn of a MFer you got to be to have your house being sitting on the market since October, and you're still not ready to accept what it's possibly worth. Let's look at the photos here. So you can see that there was some, upgrading in the floors. Right. Ooh, was that upgrading?
wow.
No. Oh my gosh, that's not upgrading. That's oh my god. Wow.
Pure decoration at its finest, I'll tell you.
Right? I mean, geez. Okay. So 47 build, 3.1, 1334 square feet. On the market at 440. Let's see what it's worth. Now look at this, guys. You've got a 330 sold in September of 2022. Same year of construction, couple hundred square feet smaller. Okay. What does that tell you? It tells you that this house is worth somewhere in the 300s. Now let's just double check. Let's just head over to Zillow and see if we can find anything else in there that gives us a little bit more insight as to, this value. Because you want to double check. You want to make sure you just got it all the information before you just draw a conclusion. $108 days. Man, oh man. Let's see if they've done any price reductions first of all. Yeah, okay. 24,000 since October. That's how much they've reduced. And nothing here justifies it. Look at this. At 400, okay, you got total remodel. 490, total remodel. Another total remodel at 455. I like 2021 values right now because that's where I feel like the market has adjusted down to. So I think the ARV on this house is about 440, 450. And what are they asking? 440. Out to lunch, and nobody's there with them, and nobody's picking up the check. This house needs to be sold at, like, ARV is 440. This is where I'd be. Because we're in Colton, California. So 68%. My offer on this thing would be 300. Psycho. Ain't nothing. This ain't selling. On to the next. I mean, but I'm not telling you not to try. Try it. Talk to the agent. But the agent will probably tell you this person is a not very reasonable person.
All right, next one is 494 Old Mill Road.
One more time.
494 Old Mill Road in Crestline, California.
Okay, we got a 1940 build, 800 square foot, 4-bed, 2-bath. Batch's value estimate on it is 317. They owe about 100K.
Lot size 400.
4,000 square foot lot. Okay. 2-story house. Okay, that's good to know. No pool. 1940, 800 square footer. Let's see what the comps show us. So you got a 40 build here. Sold in January 2022, though. That's top market at gosh, 560. I don't feel good about using that at all, but $34 built 2-1, 930 square footer. At the heat of the market, sold at, well, take away the emotional equity, about 430. And let's just do another quick recheck over here. So that was the height of the market at 415 and larger significantly. Yeah, I think Batch was right on the money there with that last comp. I think you got about a 340 house. About a 340 house. Make the adjustment. 330, 330-ish, yeah. That's where I'd be. On to the next.
All right, moving on to New York.
New York.
28 Erie Crest. So it's
Spell
two
it.
words. ERIECRES. And that's in Fairport.
What is that? It's 86? 1986 build, 2410 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. Batch's value estimate is 577. They owe about 200.
Oof.
They bought it in 09 at 330. Got a pool, 86 build, has a garage, 2-story. Let's see.
Pool of green.
So-
oh, wait, what? Oh, it was like a blue. I always look for those green pools. Gotta love a good green pool.
Oh, yeah, right. So this guy over here is like, it sold way above list price, 360. So suspect to me, you know, right out the gate. So I'm gonna keep looking. Here we got darn near model match. Sold at the heat of the market at $495, $400 was the list price. Let's just double check it, see what we can find. But you know, I think 400 is probably right. But you know, maybe something else will pop up and show. So we don't want to use anything on this back ridge, guys, that's backing water or green space or anything of that nature, or of that because it's going to have a completely different value. So it's going to skew our value. So we want to stay interior here. 2410 was our square footage. That's from 20. So I like this. Now we are 300 square feet larger. We have more bedrooms and more bathrooms. Okay, let's just go back and make the adjustments here. But we've got a 3.2, 2410. What's our lot size on this again?
Yeah.
10,000 square feet. Let's see this. Ugh, I don't no. Can't use it. See, the thing is, 10,000 quarter acre. This would be 12,000, but this is from May 524. I think it's a 2-story colonial. It's remodeled. I'd make adjustments here. So here's how I would do this. Okay, first and foremost, we're going to adjust for the timing. So we're going to take off 52,000 from 524. Okay, 472. 472,000 divided by 20. Excuse me, $177 a foot. Multiply that by our subject property size, 2410. Gets us to about 4.25. That's honestly, that's where I think this thing sits. 425 ARV. And if I'm you getting this thing under contract, I'd be at like 290, 300 max.
Somebody in the chat asked, what do I do if my subject property has fully remodeled siding, but the comp has all brick.
So say it one more time.
Let me try to find it. Their subject property has fully remodeled siding, and fully remodeled comp has brick.
Well, I think you're talking about like a wood frame versus a block home, right? Because brick's going to be block. It's going to be different. It's masonry. It's a different type of construction material. And I am seeing about a 15% increase in value for block than wood frame in certain markets. Okay. And again, that's not everywhere. Here in Arizona, a wood frame and a block home, they don't really doesn't make a big difference. An appraiser's not saying a block home's worth 15% more than a wood frame home in Arizona. It's just not. But in Florida, it makes a difference. So it's really market specific. So Kenneth, great question, but I need to know where this property is located in. Do you give value for the upgraded siding? Possibly. I mean, but again, if the interior of the house needs a full remodel, then cool, it's got new siding. But that doesn't really. I mean, what if it's butt ugly siding? And you know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving credit for it as a buyer. By the way, like for me, the way I'm looking at it is I'm only looking for opportunities where I can force appreciation. Okay. If the house has new siding, great. That's maybe $10,000 less than my buyer has to spend remodeling the house. It's like when I buy a home that needs a full remodel but has a new roof, right? Okay, cool. It's got a new roof on it. But I'm still going to need to buy it close to the number I need to buy it at because, I mean, it still needs a full remodel. So just because it's got a new roof doesn't make it like this tremendously higher value property because of the one thing. So keep that in mind when you're valuing, when you're negotiating, when you're talking to sellers. A lot of times sellers, they hold on to that. Why? Because residing that house probably like took the life out of them. To some people that 10,000, especially if it's not from an insurance claim, like if it was they resided the house, they saved up money and resided the house, like they're holding on to that residing as like, we did a lot, but there's a good chance there was probably a hailstorm and the insurance company resided the house. And now this guy's like, my house is the mansion because it got new siding on it. It's probably pink. Nothing against pink siding. I'm just saying, it's what if it doesn't match the remodel that somebody's going to do inside the house, right? Like you don't know. When it comes to remodeling, aesthetics is very important, and exterior elevation and color choice, it makes or breaks a home. So yeah, you could have new siding, but like, what is it? Vinyl? Is it big panel, small panel? There's so much. Metal, vinyl, what is it? DMV area. Subject is siding, but comp is brick. Got it. DMV, I'm not super aware of there being a massive difference in price. I would, however, though, just to be safe for yours, I would take your comp and I would probably take about 10% off and give your subject a 10% lower ARV for it being wood frame versus block construction. If it was in Florida, it's like 20% though, 15-20%. And that's just weather dependent, right? It's just because it's Florida gets hurricanes and all the things. And Sharon is actually in the DMV. Sharon, can you quickly, because she's a construction estimator, actually, she's in the Astro community. One of the many benefits of being a part of the Astro community, guys, if you don't know, I just came off a, 4 or 5 hour long, I don't even remember, long call. It was we had one of the most incredible Astro calls ever. So if you ever have, you want to know about what it's like to be in the Astro community. It is the largest, most active community of wholesalers on the planet. On the planet, okay? Between June and December of 2023, just between students, over $7 million in assignments done just in those few months between students. In the year, it was $17 million, guys. You tell me a coaching program out there that's doing numbers like that. Doesn't exist. Other than Sub 2. Sub 2's doing, but they're buying rentals, they're buying creative stuff. It's a different thing. And so, much love to the Sub 2 families, Sub 2 community, Astro Sub 2. We're basically brothers and sisters. And so we're all in it together. Big open curtain between us two. Big shout out to Batch. Big shout out to Kyle. Thank you for coming in on a Sunday and helping us today comp some houses and gain insight into all of the amazing opportunities and ways that we can utilize the Batch Leads platform to do not only cash deals, but also creative finance deals. The mortgage information that you guys have on there is really important for anybody that's pitching terms. So again, guys, batchleads.io. Go sign up, become a part of the Batch family. It's really important. And Kyle, what can people expect working with Batch? Do you guys offer, training, support? Like, what's it like being a Batch customer?
Yeah, and there's also a couple of questions in the chat I can help answer as well. But I mean, I don't think there's any other company out there that has the customer success team that we have. So everybody that signs up gets a customer success manager. And we're there to hold your hand along the ways. If you guys want to click B, you guys will be able to open up the bottom B on the right-hand side of Batch Leads, and it will open up our resource center as well. And there's over 200 videos in there that you guys are able to watch. But also, you can connect weekly with Pace Morby, Sub 2. His sister actually runs a Zoom every single hop on the novice or beginning or advanced level and learn how to use our product at a very high level. That's another piece, but I think just the customer service, the customer success team is what Jesse really hones in on. And I know Jamil and Pace and everybody that has been out there in the industry has really, put in their 2 cents. And I think that them coming in there into the business and helping out, I think that's what they wanted us to do from the get-go, right? Is be able to support all the people and their communities that they bring in at the end of the day. And I think we do the best job at it. So of course, we're here to help you guys. And we do events like this. We've done them with Jamil too, every single month to make sure you guys have people in the trenches actually using the software at a very high level. We teach how they use it as well. I know Jamil has been a big part of that, and he's doing it right now. So we continue to just provide as much value as possible. And we continue to listen to people like Jamil that have just been such a big part of this entire industry, to continue to add value, to listen to these guys and make it the all-in-one solution for you guys. So there's 2 questions I can just do real quick. One is just is the Leads and Batch Dialer the same thing? It's the same company, but there's 2 pieces. Batch Dialer is its own product. Batch Leads is its own product. And you can actually integrate both of them so the data speaks back and forth, right? So now it's the all-in-one solution. We actually just launched 3.0 click to dial. So you can actually click to dial within Batch Leads, and you guys can actually call through it. It's not a multi-line dialer, but for the people that are just starting out, you can go ahead and click to dial, and we give you the numbers, okay? And we make sure that the reputation on those numbers are good. The other question is, so do we offer phone numbers and text messaging? Of course we do, of course. So you guys can, there's multiple different ways to integrate like a Twilio into Batch Leads, and you guys can purchase your numbers from them. And then also you can use our text platform to MS. So yes, 100%. And the last one is the dialer. Yes. Can you integrate it? Yep. So we answer that. You can absolutely integrate it. I know Jamil has done some challenges. I think the secret agent challenge in December of last year was insane with the dialer. Like, I couldn't even believe it. I think he broke the system because we had so many people signing up for it, which was unreal. So
A lot of people that made a lot of money, and they still are making a ton of money using the batch dialer to just 10x their outreach capacity. But what's really fun and something I know behind the scenes is what they're implementing is in their new agent outreach tool. It's going to be click to dial, so they're actually going to provide you agent phone numbers. You're going to be able to see what they have available, and then you press the button, and boom, you're on the phone with the agent.
Nobody even knows about any of this stuff. It is crazy.
And that's why, you know, folks, yes, Emily's cute and happily married, guys. Just letting you know, she is a cutie, but also there's a baby in that belly and a very, very, very scary man at home who is full of muscles and will beat your butt. I'm playing, Eric. I'm playing her. She appreciates the compliment, and it's not taken inappropriately whatsoever. The other piece, and I saw somebody ask, privy versus batch leads. Guys, they're totally different things.
Yeah.
They're just completely different. Like, it's like, this is how I describe it, okay? You're a contractor. You're a tradesperson, okay? You've got a hammer, and you've got a saw. They do different stuff, right? Your hammer is going to do hammer things. Your saw is going to do saw things. Now, okay, does Privy comp? Yeah, of course, you can comp on Privy. You guys ever see me comping on Privy? I don't. I use Privy for my on-market deals. I use Privy for its algorithm for on-market stuff. It's fantastic. I don't comp using it. Because I trust and I know what Batch is doing in the comping world. I understand what they're doing. When it comes to their lists and skip tracing, I trust it. I know it. And then in addition to that, what they're building out with the agent outreach tool, it's a game changer. It's like nothing you've got. So it's just a different kind of tool. It's a different thing. When you're doing this business full time, right? You want to have all the tools available. As you'll see, I toggle between Zillow. I'll go to Redfin. I go to Batch. I'm looking everywhere, trying to find as much information as I can because I don't want to walk into a conversation without information. I don't want to come in blind. I want to come in knowing as much as I possibly can so that I'm armed to negotiate. It's not a if or that. It's am I seriously in this business full time? Am I in this business to win it? And if I am, then I need all the tools. I don't go out and become a contractor and just say, "Hey guys, I'm here. I got a saw. Let's go." So with that said, happy to have been back across platforms. I know somebody said, "Hey, there's 140 people here and only, so many likes." Actually, we had over 300 people across platforms. StreamYard only shows you wherever you're watching, right? So we got some on Batch TV, some on my Facebook. I would highly recommend everybody come to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Jamil Damji. That's where you can network with more people in the chat. So in the future, rather than just going onto Facebook and watching this on Facebook, come to JamilDamji or youtube.com/Jamil Damji and network in the chat, guys. This is like free networking. Where are you going to get 300 wholesalers all hanging out together in a chat, ready to do business, ready to do deals? There's how many people in the chat right now have a deal for sale? If you got a deal for sale right now in the chat right now, put a Y. Just put Y in the chat right now. If you've got a deal under contract, hit Y. Just hit Y. I want to see it. If you got something under contract, if you got something in play, you got Y. You got a girl with a contract right here. Cassandra, what's up? You got a buyer right over here. Boom, 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 boom. Check it out. She's got multiple under contract. Y'all should not be missing this. You should not be missing this. This is where you are going to network. It's how you are going to find buyers. It's how you're going to learn who each other is. Cool.
Lots of whys. Wow.
And some of you who don't get to know the ones who do. Get to know the ones who do, because if you have a buyer, they got a live deal for you. Why aren't you connecting the dots? That's how it works. Anthony's got buyers in Texas. Hit him up. Not like Pac hit him up with Biggie, but like hit him up. Yeah, I did throw back to the old school just before we leave. Pace and Jamil do America. This, guys, I'm wearing this because yesterday I had the beautiful opportunity to go to Pace Morby's mastermind. I have a mastermind coming up for Astro here shortly in February, but I was able to speak at Pace Morby's mastermind, and it was incredible. And it just reminded me of where it all started. And it started with Pace and I, who are still competitors to this day. And believe me, we compete. We fiercely compete. Okay. We do. It's legit. But we love each other. We both tell both of our teams, we compete. Okay, guys, get out there and compete. But when the time comes and if Pace's team asks for something, what's the answer, Emily?
Do it.
Yes, and same thing with my team or his team for me. Always. We compete, but we will lay down in traffic for each other because that's the love. That's what it is. And it all started with Pace and Jamil Do America. Okay, it started with him and I taking money out of our own pocket and going off into the world and just popping up in different cities, telling people how they could collaborate with each other and make all kinds of money and get super, super rich by collaborating. Incredible. Insane. Guys, if you want to know more about what the Astro family is, there's Sammy might be in the chat. Hit up Sammy. Sammy will tell you all about how Astro can change your life. If you are an Astro student and you want to attend the mastermind, I highly recommend it. There's a link in the chat for that. But again, big love to our sponsors, Batch Leads. You guys are incredible, constantly changing the game and just making everything that we do in the world better in the world of wholesaling. And thank you for staying true to wholesalers. Thank you for being that company that didn't throw wholesalers under the bus and say, we're going after insurance agents because wholesalers suck. Because believe me, a lot of them have. They've done that, but not Batch. On top of that, big love to you, Emily. I know that you are like ready to pop. I don't know. She's like minutes away, guys. You wouldn't be able to tell because she's got that like contoured face, but this girl is like pregnant AF. So a lot of love to you and your family for you coming out on a Sunday and being a part of this. Thanks again for all of you who tuned in, and from all of us at Astro, Batch, from the Damji Media team. God bless you. We love you. Good night.